constant integrity.
Yeah.
So we want.
But
we don't need the other stuff.
Well, I appreciate it, but we're going to have a conversation at a certain point of what we think is fair. What we think is fair. You know, what we think is fair as people, because it's going to be, and that's why it can't be one
It's
party.
going to be tough, because no one's is going to want to give up what they have. So that's going to be the tough part to do.
But I will tell you the good news is this, is that, you know, the good news is this, though, is that I think we can get our country turned around and then start to have that conversation. That's what I think we can do. Yes, sir.
Back to this whole situation of changing a bit, but no matter what you say, you've got to get this country going again. But if another country can sell a widget for half of what we can, how can our man in a manufacturing plant compete against this person to get jobs back into the United States?
Well, see, this is why, when you look at trade policy, you know, the thing of it is I've always been a details guy all my life. So I work really hard at trying to get to know people so that I don't end up, you know, seeming like a micromanager. But I mean, I care about people, I care about issues. And it's the same thing with trade. If you come in and say free trade, it's the details. And you say, well, it's all, you know, all tariff. No, it's the details. So in spirit, what we want to do is we would love to. President Obama says he wants to double the number of exports. I would love to do that. But what we've got to do is look at the details of all these. To give you an example of when we have been crossed. You know, we enter in these agreements and we send automobiles over to Japan, right? Stop. Nope, can't. That's it. What do you mean? That's not what you said. Yeah, but we decided this is all we're going to let in. What do you mean? We made an agreement, right? Well, show me where that is. We need to get into the details of all these things. Because here's my point. I was with farmers earlier today. And if we the people, through our unelected bureaucracy, if we the people decide that we need these regulations to keep our food safe and to keep our environment safe and to work our environment, if we the people decide that if it's so important for our farmers and if it's that important, then why don't we hold competitors to come here to the same standard? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would we do that? If we think it's that important, you know, we can have that conversation. We should have that conversation. What makes sense? We should have that conversation. But I mean, you can probably tell I'm emphatic about it because I don't think we're in balance right now. But let's have that conversation. And wherever we end up, and we say, you know what, this should be the case, then why would we have a different set of standards for competitors that come in from overseas? I can't defend that. That's wrong. That should change. That allows us to compete in a fair manner with competitors that are coming from overseas. So what does that mean in terms of my relation to free trade? Well, it means the details matter. You know, I want to see when you talk about you're going to bring your goods to here, you know, what protocols are going to be in place for us to know that it's just going to come the same, you're going to meet the same standards that we're forcing our manufacturers and farmers to. How are we going to do that? So that's why, you know, when I've been asked about South Korea and everything, I said no. I'm going to look at the details of this. You know, you're not going to railroad me on this. I want to look at the details of it. And
well, are their salaries going to have to come up to ours?
No, remember this. Remember this, that they still have to ship it. So, I mean, look, I've studied this too, and this may surprise you now. Because I got it wrong. I got this wrong. The number one reason why we lack in competitiveness here vis-a-vis competitors overseas, it's not labor, it's taxes. That's the number one. Labor second. And look, we pay our labor that price because it's a good thing to do, because they've earned it. You know, so what we don't want to do is we want our laborers to get a good, decent living wage. You know, and what we need to do is if we hold these competitors when they try to bring it in here, they're going to have to pay the transportation costs to come here. So we're going to gain some of this back by having domestic manufacturing. Here's the other way we do it: is we consistently get better. If we consistently get better, you know what I'm saying, sir? So we've got a product. I mean, why is it that our micro conductors here, you know, our semiconductors, our chips, it's because we're really good at what we do. And Hudson Valley Fresh, where I was today, guess what? Their milk wins all these quality awards, just like they bat and kill it. When we produce milk like we do, when we really focus on quality, people will pay. They'll pay the price. So that's what's always been the spirit of America, is the excellence. Because we have, of course I'm biased, we have the smartest and it's the hardest working workforce in the world. Our issue is profitability, and that's why we should be addressing that.